Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. So as you can tell from my attire again, looking like Gumby from back in the day. This stuff really helps. It stays cool. It's nice and thin, like a Nike dry fit type of thing. But we're gonna do some more roofing today. It is Sunday. I wanted to do the spraying on the south side of the wall for the rubber wall, but unfortunately the company, Sherwin-Williams, there's only one, like in anywhere around in Ohio, there's only one Sherwin-Williams that actually rents out paint sprayers. And they informed me that the Graco 695 heavy-duty industrial sprayer is gone. They sold it. So that kind of sucks. I figured something like that was going to happen. And what we're going to have to do is they have another one that's kind of close second. It's called a Titan 640. And from what I can tell online, it's not as powerful, but it should be okay because the Graco could spray up to a 0.03 inch sprayer head, and this Titan can spray up to a 0.027. And what I've been using with the rubber wall is a 21. So 21 should be far enough away from the 27 that it should be powerful enough. And as you can see, there's not a lot to do. It should only probably take 20 or 30 minutes to do this wall. So it's not like that thing has to run all day where I might burn it out and hurt it somehow. But I think we should be good. It's just not available today, but she said it'd be available tomorrow. So we're gonna get up onto the roof. We're gonna start some shingling. Like I said, I'm gonna be a lot slower and better at this so I don't hurt my back and my legs. And then I think on Tuesday, my dad will be back out to help me. So there shouldn't be any rain in the forecast for rain to get underneath of the shingles. But if I get half of the roof done today on this side, paint that tomorrow, and then start working on the shingles again, I think we'll have the garage actually done this week on Tuesday. So hang tight and we'll see what we can do and how quickly we can do it. All right, so if you guys missed my detail before, what I'm doing, don't know if it's 100% needed, but we went ahead and put on a drip edge here. That way, if we don't get our gutters on anytime soon, and wherever the gutters are gonna go, like if they're mounting down here or up here, which I would like them to actually push this flashing in when they get nailed in so the gutter's a little higher. The flashing is obviously over top of this, so it's not done exactly correctly. The ice and water shield probably should have gone over top of it like this, but what I'm gonna do is seal all of this with zip flashing tape. So that way, if there's ever a leakage again underneath of a shingle and it fails, it'll hit the ice and water shield, run on down. It'll hit this layer of zip tape right here, and then it will go over top of the flashing and then go on down behind the gutter. So pretty much this roof should last for a really, really, really long time. Because again, even if the shingles fail in 20 years, it's not like you're going to penetrate through another 100% waterproof protective layer to actually hurt the sheathing underneath of it. So this could be like a 50, 60 year roof. Again, even with the shingles completely failing, it just depends how long this plastic type membrane not exposed to the sun will actually last, which again should be a long time. But we're going to flash this down here, then we'll go ahead and do our first starter row. And if you guys are wondering about all this debris, it's actually carpenter bees. They're actually boring into these 2x6s and leaving all of this sawdust. So this roof should actually be a little cleaner than I thought. Once I get the soffits underneath here and paint it, hopefully carpenter bees won't want to burrow through that, since the LP Smart side says it's supposed to be bug resistant as opposed to just regular lumber. But I don't know, fingers crossed it looks better. But let's go ahead and tape all this down and then we'll get started on the starters. Okay, so it is a hot one. It is getting to be at least 80 degrees or so. And I think it's like 1 or so in the afternoon. I got the first row done with the starter shingles and the shingles. And then I started going up right here. I got my first tapers all the way up. And I'm gonna do another taper also. So that way I'm gonna do like 14 rows at a time. This lift is a little off kilter. And the problem with it is when you have too much weight in the bucket, the bucket can turn itself going this way and it'll fall towards gravity, but it won't straighten back up. So I can always be straight with the roof as I go down. And yeah, I can't keep working like this with the bucket. So as little movement as I have to do with the bucket is probably the better. So again, we're probably gonna get 14 rows, maybe even a little bit more, and just keep going up and then just work all the way across. And I think that'll be a little bit better of a game plan. And then, like I said, get half the roof done today, save my back and stuff, and I think I'll be okay. While Erin goes to the store, she had to get me a new chuck, the female chuck on my gun. I was losing my mind the other day. All of the air is leaking out of the chuck and the compressor is just running constantly. And when you got a black compressor running constantly and it's 80 degrees out in the middle of the sun, that tank feels like it's 200 degrees. So I want that compressor to run as little as possible. So she's going and getting me a new chuck so it'll 100% air seal. And then it looks like she's getting started on her first and her own little project. She did not like all of this tall grass here all around this tree and up here. So she went ahead and bought some killer, which you can see she killed everything kind of up in this area. She's obviously bought several bags of topsoil, and she's gonna go ahead and plant some flowers throughout here and over here. So that way your entranceway is just a little bit nicer. So I think that will look good. So good luck to her because she's using a shovel. And again, it is very hot out, but at least she gets to be in the shade. So, oh, and 2 more messages real quick, or updates. We actually last night left the Lynx's router out here connected. And yeah, the TV in the living room actually doesn't seem to be doing so bad. Again, the phones and everything are only picking up about 25 gigs download, but the TV only skipped maybe once or twice. So kind of annoying, but not too bad to leave it out here. And we also transitioned our security system from the RV into the garage here for now, the base station. And that's probably gonna work a little bit better because I mean, we're only moving about 60 feet this way or so, but with the base station there, it's kind of now more in the central area of where all the cameras are around the property. So it should be picking up them a little bit easier because sometimes they're hard to connect and lose signal. And maybe because the whatever that is on the shell of that, the signal maybe doesn't come and go as easily as like drywall and lumber. But that seems to be working awesome. And then the last thing is, I forgot to mention this, the DeWalt gun that I got is actually working much better. It had 4 failures. I said 3 in the video where I was putting on the roof. And it had 1 more nail get caught that I just have to rip out with a pair of pliers. And then since then, I had absolutely 0 failures. So the metal probably just got rounded in to where it was hitting the nails and they kind of like meshed a little bit together. But I will keep the nail gun, you know, nice and lubed up and everything like that. There's a plenty heavy enough lube on it already from the factory, and the nails are actually soaked in oil also in the box. You can see it's like just dripping everywhere, so they help coat them so they don't rust. But sorry I didn't mention that because someone had just mentioned in the video that how I should lube the gun up and everything. But after the first 4, 2 nails got stuck, a copper got stuck on the rod that goes in and out, and the head of a nail got stuck where the rod goes in and out. But other than those 4 issues, the nail gun has been running 100%. So if you do go ahead and get a nail gun, or if you get this DeWalt nailer, just realize it may take you a few hundred or maybe even 1,000 nails to run through it until it meshes, and then everything works 100%. All right, that is where I am calling it for the day. We got several rows up in there before we have to start making all those single cuts for all the shingles going into the house. Luckily, there's not really much of waste. It almost works out perfectly. I almost made it to the top up there also. I know there's 50 rows in total to go all the way up there. So I'd have to count to see how many rows I actually got done. But we'll finish out going up there tomorrow, put on the first ridge cap venting and stuff, and then we'll work our way down and get everything next to the house completed. Then the only thing left to do on this side really is paint the under soffits, and Aaron and I are going to repaint the house. Not in a different color per se, but we're not in love with the super matte finish. I think we're gonna step it up to the exact same color, but maybe go with a satin or something that gives a little bit more shine. And that only has one coat on it anyway. So might as well just do it again, all one complete time with the sprayer. And we'll probably do that when we start working on the side of the house over here, which I gotta remember, we gotta get going on that. Again, we still have the lift, so I don't know. I may be in this lift for quite some time and spending a lot of money, because everything I need to do from here on out is with the lift. We've got to finish the roof, we got to finish the soffits, we got to finish the soffits under the house gables and the fascias. Then we've got to do this whole side of the garage with the zip paneling that's sitting on the garage floor. But then we still need to purchase the 16-inch wide by 16-foot long strips of the LP Smart Side, so that we can do like these taller sections in here. And then we'll have the leftovers for the house that need to go from basically the height of the deck or the height of the genstone, where it's not up to the height of the deck all the way. That needs to go up and do all of the soffits. So we've got a lot of work to do. So I think we're going to be super busy for the next at least 4 or 5 days. Hopefully the weather works out. And again, my dad will be here on Tuesday. So if I can knock out the entire roof tomorrow on Monday, then that means on Tuesday we can go purchase some lumber, work on these soffits over here for the front and back. So that soffit will be on the exact same level. So you'll have front soffit going this way, you'll turn on the porch, and then the porch will go out that way, and those will have its own soffits too. So we really only have a little bit in the front, because that front porch is 32 feet 4 inches. So as you can see, these trusses are pretty freaking big. But then in the back, we've got a lot more soffits to do, because that's only a 12-footer, and the house is 52 foot long, plus 4 feet for the overhangs. So we'll get to it. So I'm gonna go rest up. My knees and legs just started to hurt on that last time. It's really when you have to start walking away from the lift and going up higher that my legs start killing, because you're up and then down, and you're at such a steep pitch at a 812. So I'm gonna head in, get some dinner, and we'll see you guys back early in the morning to hopefully finish out this before the sun gets too bad. Hey everybody, welcome back for another day. It's now Monday. I was gonna do the roof, and I actually did several panels, but it's 1 o'clock right now, and I got started around noon, and it's just not possible. There's barely a cloud in the sky, and it is so hot outside that as I'm stepping on the shingles that I've already done, I'm leaving footprints, and it's like I'm almost ripping all of the granules off of the shingle, and it doesn't look good. So it's too hot to be standing on them with the sun directly down. So I'm gonna get the paint sprayer right now. Hopefully it works. Like I said, it's a different kind. This thing, I don't know the horsepower sizes, but this one's only around $1,900, while the Graco was $3,000. So I'm assuming it had a lot more horsepower. And like I said, it could spray up to a 30-inch or a 30 tip. And this Titan can only spray up to a 27, but we're only using a 21, so it should fit and it should work. But fingers crossed, we'll go pick it up now, do the painting on the south side of the house. That way at least we're in the shade. All right, so we're back home with the new sprayer. Like I said, this is the Titan 640. Looks like it should be doing fine. I did a test spray over here, and it's coming out okay. Like I said, it really has to do with the tip size, so I'm no expert in this, but if the rubber wall needs to be sprayed, I think with anywhere from like a 21 up to maybe like a 25-inch tip, as long as you're under what the paint sprayer's maximum tip size can do. Like for example, the Graco that I purchased for about $700 or something, I think its max tip size is only like a 19. So I wouldn't try spraying the rubber wall with that, even though I own my own sprayer. So like I said, it seems to be working okay. So we just went ahead and disconnected the septic, or the sump pump, move the line out of the way. We'll get the lift over here, and we'll knock this out hopefully real quick and easy, and then we can get back to getting to the roofing, as long as the sun is a little bit more that way to the west, so that way we're not messing the shingles up by standing on them. All right, everybody, that is another project done with the lift. So hopefully this week we can do the soffits and everything, but you can throw as much water at that as you want. It's not going anywhere or getting into the cracks. Should keep bugs out. I don't know if the ants, if they were to come back and want to actually go through the ICF, I don't know if they would actually be able to get through that. But I don't think I've ever done a actual up close rubber wall spray video. So as you can see, you just go back and forth real quick. You can hit this stuff, like I said, it doesn't really run, so you can keep it in a spot there. And see, it just builds up. It doesn't actually streak down. So as you're going down, if you were to have a crack somewhere in between like 2 blocks, this side's obviously already done, but well, there's a little bit of a crack right here. So you can see that there is a space right in there that the rubber wall actually did not penetrate. Then you simply just go up with it with the gun, and then you kind of go there at an angle across there, whether it's horizontal, or you can either turn the gun and go vertical, or you can actually rotate the tip here. And if you need to, like, let's pretend that this crack right here needs filled in, then it's just a simple, and so you basically just close that gap. So super, super easy. Just have to have the right sprayer, like I said, one that's powerful enough, and to make sure that you purchase the correct tip. But yeah, whether you're doing ICF housing, or even if you're just doing well, the zip paneling over there, or if you didn't want to put house wrap on, can't say that it's going to be cheaper than Tyvek or anything, but Tyvek is only water sealing, it's not air sealing. So you technically could spray an entire house down. I got that entire wall over there that was over 8 foot tall. So if you're building a normal house that's 8 foot by whatever around, you could simply just spray this right onto wood. It would 100% air and water seal you. You just have to make sure that if you're doing it to a traditional house with stick frame, that you are basically putting a water barrier or vapor barrier on the outside now. So you'd have to see what that's going to do on the inside of your house, so you're not screwing something up. But this stuff's just awesome. It's super easy to do, and I mean, you can paint an entire house in just a day or so. The only thing that sucks is I've got now over 2.5 gallons left. So I was thinking 5 gallons was going to do that wall, and I'm not even close. So can't say that it was 100% 80 mil thick. As you can see, I didn't test it, but really as I'm spraying, I'm just looking for if I fill enough of the cracks in Obviously this is above grade, so I don't really need 80 mil as if it were below grade. You can see here you're pretty much covering up the Fox blocks to the point where you almost can't see it. So I can guarantee you that's thick enough. If you're covering all of your crack lines and you're covering all of your letters up, then that's more than enough. But really just to give this thing kind of a impermeable layer to water for now until we get the siding on, and bugs and everything, you're not going to hit it. So I don't think they're really going to chew through it since it's so rubbery as opposed to light foam and stuff. So let's transition back over to the front of the house now, and let's finish our roof. Another day, gonna come to a close here in a little bit. I'll probably stay out here a little bit longer and get more of that corner in. But I started on the ridge cap and started getting in the breathing channel thingies. They seem to be going okay. The starter shingles and the ridge cap shingles from Atlas seem to be worth it. I know people usually don't buy them, but to have a really thin, smooth starter shingle, I think is worth just a couple more dollars per bundle. And you don't need that many bundles. I've seen the ridge cap shingles go for way more money than a regular bundle. Like if you remember, I said the pristine line wasn't the top of the line from Atlas. There was one above that. The bundle on just the ridge cap shingles were up to like $66. But if you only need like 2 bundles for that entire ridge cap, obviously because we're not going all the way from end to end, it's probably still worth it in the end, because it's nice that they kind of cut these for you. Again, they're completely smooth and flat versus having the 3D printing on them, which just takes more time to bend down because the top part of the 3D will want to stick flat. So it's probably worth it just to spend a couple dollars more. I don't think in the pristine line the starters or the ridge caps were that much more, but let's head up here real quick and I'll just show you how I'm finishing it out. And then unfortunately I can only do 3 more of these because I've ran out of nails. All right, so the way these things work, it says start with this end. There's kind of like a tongue and groove effect that this one goes over top of this one. And then it says in each hole where you need to place your nails. I went ahead and used 3-inch nails. You could probably get away with 2.5, which I did when I originally put one of these on to let kind of the heat escape out of the attic. But now that we've got at least, well, let's count them. You've got 1 shingle going up that way, another piece of this shingle going up this way, and then this one over there. So we got at least 3 shingles plus the ice and water shield going under there. So that kind of builds up that thickness a lot. So I would rather feel more comfortable with a 3-inch nail going down and holding these guys down. And then also for the ridge cap shingles too, that we'll go ahead and use a 3-inch nail. But what I usually don't do, like I didn't do this on the shed, I didn't use pre-cut shingles, so I went ahead and cut them long. So I know I've seen on other roofs where you can see the venting channels in here. I thought you wanted to go over that, and apparently you don't. So on the shed, my shingles are about 1 inch longer on each side, plus 1/2 of an inch. So any rain that hits the shingle goes down and actually falls down. I can see this being a problem for me in the future with a lot of leaves and stuff getting caught in here. So these may have to come off one day, and I may want to redo these with a longer cut, because again, this is nothing but just a big, huge trap for dirt and leaves and everything. And you can already see there's granules stuck in there. And yeah, that it's going to be unsightly to constantly see like leaves and sticking straight up out of here, especially the ends of a leaf will get caught down in there, and then the leaf will fold over and it won't want to fall out. So I don't know, I just thought of that as I'm talking to you guys, but we may have to not use these, return them, or cut beyond the perforation so that I get a little bit longer. But that's going to require more bundles then, because obviously I'm going to be losing about 4 inches on each one, and that's probably not going to work too well. Good morning, everybody. So I just got finished about 9 in the morning. I wanted to get out here and get the roof done where the sun wasn't hitting, and it just started to peak the top of the roof as I finished over in that corner against the house. But it's not 100% done, but I will say I finished on the last shingle on the last piece of step flashing. Now I may still need another shingle for the other side, There's a piece of step flashing in this corner right here that you have to use 2 pieces. Right now on the other side, I just have a piece like running long and it's sticking out and looks stupid. You're supposed to specially cut back a second piece that goes against the house and will wrap back and around that piece. And then you glue them together. And then I'll probably need another piece that on that corner again. It's not sitting at exactly where each one steps up. There's actually only like that much overhang and it runs up the wall further. But it then covers the step flashing against the house looking down that way, and that's then glued also, so it's like a double bonded system in that corner. So I still have to finish the other side, and I need maybe one more piece of step flashing all the way up there in the corner where they need to like overhang themselves and like get cut and glued appropriately, even though again there's such a overhang there that water will never really get up in there. But that's still basically maybe 2 or 3 more pieces of step flashing that I need in case I mess up, because I did end up wasting about 3 or 4 by cutting them incorrectly, and it didn't cut them exactly. So they're only about 40 cents, so not a big deal. And then we obviously need to still finish out the ridge cap, which I said I ran out of 3-inch nails. So I'm gonna go to the store right now and purchase the nails, purchase the lumber that my dad and I need to get working on, because now that we don't have to do that together today on the roof, we can go ahead and finish out underneath of the soffits over here. And I'm probably gonna start the porch today. So what I'm gonna do is cut back some of this roofing right here. I'm not gonna go all the way across and cut, because I don't think me and my dad are gonna set these trusses by ourselves. So I'm probably just gonna notch out the roof up in there where the bracket is. Then we can go ahead and pick these LVLs up, sit the LVL in the bracket, sit the LVL on the top of this beam here. That beam still needs about 3 feet or so cut off of it. So the LVL is gonna sit on top of this post, and it'll sit in the beam pocket over there. And then again, when these trusses get set, they'll be set at the exact same height as the trusses on the house. So all of these soffits in that like corner going like this, all of them will be 100% even, and the roofing will go evenly and the soffits underneath will go evenly. So we got to get some 2x6s to extend this guy out. One more truss it looks like, and then maybe about 4 inches or so that way. So I should have cut that 2x6 there a little long. So we'll cut that back to the next truss, extend it out where it needs to be. Then I think we have to do maybe the same over on this side. That needs cut back a little bit. Yeah, we need about 24 more inches on this side too, so that this one meets the last truss and then goes over and then gets cut off at that bracket. So if I cut back the roof there and set the LVLs on there, bolt them together, what I'll probably do, just in case I don't know when we're gonna get these trusses set, I'll probably just put some flashing tape. So as it goes down the roof, it'll hit the flashing tape, go on top of the LVL, and then it'll drain down the right and to the left and won't actually get into the house. So we'll tape that up real good until we are ready to fully cut this all the way back and we actually set these trusses. Maybe if we got help later in the week, we could set the trusses. The lift again has a 500-pound capacity. These trusses are about 200 and something each, so plus me on it. The lift may actually be able to lift them up and we can get them set. But anyway, we got to go get lumber. We got to go get a little bit more nails. And then hopefully by the end of the day, you guys are going to see the front of this house the way it's probably going to look in a way. We'll get the LVLs. We'll cut back a little bit. We'll get the front fascias on. Hopefully we can get the 2x4s against the house, get the soffits on, and yeah, just start finishing this out. So hang tight, I'm gonna go to the store and I'll be back. All right guys, day's coming to a close. My dad just left. Unfortunately, we did not get a whole lot done. We got the first cutbacks here and attached our LVLs, and that was a little bit difficult to put in because these posts not only started to lean out, so we had to take the lift and push them back in, but they also started to twist. So we had to attach some 2x on the front and the back, and I'm pulling one way and he's pulling the other way to try and get a freaking 6x6 untwisted, and then trying to get it set on there and make sure that everything was plumb. So that took a long time, and the LVLs have been sitting in the yard for like 8 months, so they're slightly swollen. So they were a little hard to get into the bracket and to the brackets out here that you can see what's holding them up. So yeah, that took a little bit of time. And then towards the end of the day, we went ahead and got the soffit going on this side over here. So we started getting like all of our angles where everything's gonna get cut back. All the 2x going down. We got our outside fascia and our first trim piece up. So this guy right here is pretty much ready for a soffit and a light to be installed and cut in. And then on the going back up there, we got our zip paneling on, which looks identical to what we did over on this side, how it's just a flat board there. And I got one piece of like T11 going up there, just like we have on the other side of the garage. So again, not too much done, but at least we're close that we can get this side knocked out, go all the way up, and then maybe back down, and then worry about the back fascia and all that later. But if we put the outside fascias on the gables, then we can call the front south side of the house on that side completely done with the roofing, and then we can go ahead and start shingling that. And then what else? Oh, and my brackets didn't work. I had 2 extra brackets that hold the 6x6 down here, but those brackets right there hold 3 pieces of lumber and not 3 LVLs. So those brackets up there have to be a 6x6 by 6x6 post, and it fit it very snugly, because again, these were a little bit swollen, so the brackets were tight, but out here there was a little bit of tight room, but because they were swollen, they filled out that 5.5 inches, because LVLs are supposed to only be 5 1/4. So again, we got that done. And yeah, hopefully we can start getting this side of the house done tomorrow and get a light installed over there. And then I'm not really sure when the first truss is going to be set for the porch, so that way you guys get a 100% overall look at what the house is going to be. Hey everybody, welcome back. Another day, late in the day. It's actually Friday, so I don't think I've talked to you guys since Tuesday. And the reason why that is, every day I was not recording anything live, and then at the end of the day I was kind of giving a little monologue, and video's just running way too long. So we are kind of getting screwed here. We still have the lift. I'm a day over on my 1-week rental, and as you can see, at least the front of the house is done, kinda, at least with the underhangs and stuff. So we got our light installed, we've got electricity running out on this side. There is no light on this soffit for the house, because the next light that we're putting on, if you remember from the video when I installed these lights and tested them in the middle of winter, we're gonna put a light like right here in the middle of the porch, and there's not really too much room up in there. So that light right there provides enough light down here that we got a light set right here that it will cover this area too. So at that diagonal, there's about 144 inches. So we did the same thing over on here. We measured out a diagonal of 144 inches from the center of the porch where one will go. And as you can see, the lights doesn't really make sense if you're just looking up there. Why is that light there? It's not centered over the window. It's not centered on that soffit, but if you take that light over to that light at that diagonal, it's 144 inches. So should light up this square or this corner here 100% and perfect. And if I didn't mention it already, again, I hate finishing work. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It takes so long. You are making all these intricate cuts, and then the caulking takes forever, but this corner and everything is all done and flashed and caulked. I got all the way up and over done, and we're now over to that back corner, but at least this side of the house is 100% caulked up on the soffits and everything. So we're all done there. The outside flashing, the drip edge is on there, and we put the zip tape running down the same as the garage so that water doesn't get under the flash or under the drip edge and then get down behind on the flashing. So the zip tape, like I said, sticks to everything. So it's taping the soffit or the flashing overhang down to the ice and water shield all the way up to the peak and down. So that's all 100%. And then again, I got started on this backside soffit where Aaron and I were kind of discussing, well, crap, where are we going to put another light at here? Because this porch is way further back, and I did get the brackets installed, by the way. So we've got our porch brackets here. Again, we're only around 12 feet or so from that bracket to that bracket. So we've got a lot of real estate up in there where more lights can go, but I think we're still only going to stick with one. We'll probably go at the diagonal type thing too, where one will be up over the kitchen window too. So we'll figure all that out. But I just hate this finishing work. It just takes so long, and it's just not easy by yourself, especially with this LP stuff. Like hanging this piece of flashing up here at 16 feet long, trying to get a wobbly thing set up against there so that it's not falling one way or the other way, and then getting it level, so you're having to put a screw in the middle and go to the end and back, and it just takes so long. And again, now I'm at $600 and some for a week on the lift. Kind of debating if I should just go ahead and call them and say, you know what, give me an entire month. It's going to be like $1,000 or so, but that will give me an entire month for this lift, where again, each day becomes cheaper and cheaper the longer and longer you go. So after a month, you're not paying $640 a week. You may be down to like only $500 a week because you took it out for the entire month. But we've got a lot more to do. So again, not a lot of action going on. We still have to do this complete whole side of the house over here. So soffits and fascias, and then build out the soffits underneath the kitchen window. And then eventually we're gonna have to figure out, when are we gonna install this porch? This should be super, super easy and not take a lot of time, due to the fact that we're only dealing with like 12-foot trusses plus their 2-foot overhang. So 16 foot is easy for me to hold, use the lift, set it up on the LVLs, but we would have to set LVLs out here, bring something 20 feet down to the ground to support the LVL as a temporary, or I guess I'd have to get my math 1000% spot on and go purchase some like 20-foot 6x6s and put the diamond piers in the ground there, and they'll go all the way up and they'll hold together. So I know that seems crazy, the fact that it's Friday, so that was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days, and that's like all that we got done was just some front soffits and that side over there. But I'm telling you guys, this stuff just takes forever, and those brackets were a huge pain in the butt because I had already put the blocking up in there, and the bracket has to sit on the top plate, but there was blocking in the way, so I had to hammer those out, and now I got to put more blocking in and spray foam them back in, or else you can see we've got some huge holes up in there where birds, well, now can fly back into the house. So got to get that done too. So I'm just going to keep hammering at this. I'm just going to keep doing what I can do. Hopefully finish the backside here today and tomorrow. Cut this foam back here with the saw, and we'll get the cable line buried into the wall, foam it, caulk it, and then never see that cable line again. And yeah, like I said, the sooner we can get at least this back porch on, which I could probably do all by myself, then you guys will get a kind of an idea of what this house will officially look like. Just imagine the front though is 32 foot instead of 12 foot. But yeah, that'll at least again give you a look. But I'm gonna wrap this one up here because it's getting pretty long and not a lot got done today, and it's been raining today, so it did hold off at least until Thursday like I thought. It looks like it's slowing down, but you can hear all the water dripping off the edge, which is Chinese water torture as you're trying to work under a soffit, and all you feel is water drops on the back of your head or down like the crack of your butt as they just drip. So super annoying. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here. You guys got the idea of where we're at for at least this week, and what I'm dealing with the lift. And hopefully in the start of the next video, if we get these trusses hung like I said, and we get some 6x6s down to the ground, put some diamond piers in the ground, and we can use the diamond piers this time because this back porch is so tiny at basically only 12 by 12. We can use the little diamond pier 50/50s, and that diamond pier 50/50 can also support the weight of the deck, so it'll all be in one piece. I don't have to split the 6x6s for the deck slash roof, and I don't have to purchase these massive 75s. So literally, like I said, we could get the deck on in the next video, at least the start of the deck, put the base plate against the wall, kick out some floor joists, run the 6x6s all the way up, throw on the LVLs, throw on the roof, and then this will give me good practice on how the hell do you do the angling to where you've got to have a ridge back go on the peak of the truss, a ridge back go all the way back to attach to the roof, or strong back, whatever you want to call it. Then you've got to have some spider trusses or rafter trusses come off the ridge back, go down to the roof. You've also got to have a 6x6 or a 2x6 or 2x8 plate that goes from the ridge back down to the corner, so that's where your rafters will rest on, so they're not pushing solely on your roof sheathing if there's not a truss there. So that is 1,000 pieces of cutting and intricate math detail, but that'll give me good practice that I can knock out this guy and not waste too much lumber. That way when we go to the front of the house and we actually do that, I'll have experience then. So again, gonna wrap this one up here so the video doesn't get too long. If you guys like, as always, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not already. Hit us up at NeckofTheWoods 2020 on Instagram if you need to personal message us. So till then, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.